that out here. The exit signs are there, in case we need them. I don't see, except for admission. It should be all good. I want to talk, my name is Grodzik. I'm the director of the program, along with Rob Esposito, who's up there, who's doing the dance part, of making theater, making dance. I want to point out something before I talk about the Cradle will Rock, that everything you see on this stage tonight, the lighting design, the costume design, the music direction, and the piano and all the performers, everything was done by students. I'm sure most of you know that last year we had some pretty drastic cuts. And so I asked some of my students to come together to keep theater alive on campus. And so we formed in the first quarter, and we just worked our butts. We did Larrabee Project last quarter, and this is the Cradle will Rock. The program will change next quarter, but it's been a tremendous success. And it's been a success because of the commitment, focus, talent of the students here. And so, it was a big experiment to see if we could really just, usually you have a tech staff, and you have this and that. We have students as tech staff also. So I just want to point that out and celebrate their work. I directed the show. Once my first directing teacher once said, be humble as a director because you really don't have anything to show for your work. You're invisible. It's the people you work with that bring it to life. And so I just want to, again, thank the company, because we have a company. A little bit about the Cradle will Rock. The Cradle will Rock was written in 1937. It was, by accident, it became one of the most great stories of the 20th century American theater. It was part of the WPA project when, at the time, they were trying to form a national theater in the United States, and all these little, Seattle had a branch of a WPA theater. This is the original poster, the Federal Theater Project. And what happened was this play, and it still has, it's highly political. It doesn't hide its politics at all. This play was deemed so subversive and dangerous that when it was supposed to open in New York, the government wouldn't allow it to open, and they locked the theater up. They sent armed guards to lock the theater. They took all the costumes and all the scenery, and they just wouldn't let it out of the theater. It was being produced at the time by John Houseman. People may know him as an actor or not, but Orson Welles was the director. And so what they decided to do was they were not going to be silenced. So somebody found out that there was a theater 20 blocks up Broadway called the Venice, where they would be able to perform. It was dark, there was nothing there. Jean Rosenthal was the lighting designer. She found a piano, a broken down piano, threw it in the truck, and everybody went up those 20 blocks, and as they did, more and more people gathered. More and more people gathered, so there was a huge storm of people who went into the Venice that night. Actors Equity had told all of them who were performing it that they could not walk on stage or they would lose their equity card and they'd be fired. Well, thanks to Olive Stanton, who played the role of Mao that night, so Mark Litzstein was supposed to come on stage and just play the whole score himself and sing it, because that looked like all they could do. Anyway, Olive, as the play began, stood, and many of the people who followed, and she started singing, and they performed the whole play from out there. And it was like this great moment. They didn't have any scenery or costumes. We have that, but so they did it for 1 week, and then about 6 weeks later it had its official opening on Broadway, but the story became one of the most famous of American theater. A little bit about the structure of the piece. It's almost all sung. It's an hour 20 minutes long approximately, with about 10 minutes of dialogue. So you're going to have songs, but then the songs don't really end in a traditional musical sense where everybody goes, yay! It became, it runs through. People are talking in rhythm and all sorts of stuff. And it's still one of the most experimental pieces, although it was written in 1937 and so forth. So anyway, thanks to the company. I'll see a lot of you next quarter. Thanks for the entire staff and crew who designed things. And thank you all for coming tonight. Welcome. Oh, and so what happened at the beginning, Mark came on stage and just sat down at the piano. And we're following a lot of traditions. Hello, Aiden's our Mark tonight. And so forth.
Act 1, Seen one on a street corner.
Okay. Melt. Melt. Oh, melt.
Well, it's kind of annoying me.
Yeah?
What's the trouble tonight? Where is everybody?
All down in front of Union headquarters, I guess. Big union drive tonight.
Gee.
What do you mean, gee? Union trouble ain't no news in this burg. All the force gets called out regular. It's just your luck I happen to be around here now.
You must be busy. I bet they need you bad.
Oh, sure they need me bad. See that phone over there? They'll send for me when things begin to pop.
Huh. Well, good night, officer. Good night and thank you. I think maybe I'll go down and see the fun.
Oh my God, she said. A little girlie on and this blue white line road. Ride to your room. Come on, smile now.
Say you got me wrong.
Yeah?
Why, you're no better than that stupid Claude. Maybe you're part of the new high squad.
How you guess it, baby?
So that's the way you work it now. I see a Romeo who's on the peak, trying
Huzzah! Swear in front of you and Peg once. Who phoned in? Virgil? Go on. What, 8 of them? What are they? Strikers? Listening to a speech. Is that all? Why, you know Virgil. Wait a minute, here he comes now. You're all under arrest!
Arrest? But officer!
You can't arrest us!
Do we look like union organizers? Who's that man?
Do we look like steel workers?
Who's that man?
I said you're under arrest!
You can't do this to us, Mr. Center!
Yes, Mr. Mister!
Come on!
The man who was making the speech!
It was him you were supposed to arrest!
Then what'd you run for? So this is the group.
Cradle! What a word!
Yeah, nice haul, huh?
Was that 5 minutes and I caught 8 of them, count them, 8 of them. Ah, what you got over there, Dick?
Little hustler.
Hustler! Taught us!
We can take them all in together.
Sounds good. Only these are mine. Together.
What's that?
You don't know who we
You
are!
fool!
You idiot. Fancy names now.
Go right ahead. You only happen to be arresting the newly formed Liberty Committee?
Oh yeah? What's that?
You've never heard of the Liberty Committee?
Haven't you ever heard of the Daughters of the American Revolution?
You ain't one of them, are you? Wait a second. Did you say revolution? I knew it. You're coming with me.
Scene 2. The night court.
Gosh, it's cold in here. You don't have it heated like you did last Thursday.
Well, when you get brought in next Thursday, I'll see that there's a cozy little fur-lined rocking chair and a fireplace set out for you. Would you like that?
I mean, I'm only a little chilly. Come on, you're kidding me.
No! Hurry, telephone, Mr. Hurry and come to the rescue. Hurry!
Telephone, Mr. Hurry up and come to the rescue!
Idiot!
Steel Town's Liberty Committee.
We're against the union, we're against the drive!
Hey, bud, tell me, what's it all about tonight, huh? What I told you down at Union headquarters, that's what it's all about tonight. Mr. Mister sent in his orders. He said arrest anyone forming a crowd. Bella started making the speech. I pulled in all the guys I could reach.
Oh, we were there to stop the man who was making the speech. He's a red, one of those agitators. We wanted you to arrest him.
Why, I drew up the manifesto. Steel Town is clean. Steel Town's a real town. We don't want a union in Steel Town.
But the other one was mine. America, Cradle of Liberty, Steel Town, Cradle of the Liberty Committee.
I'm the secretary.
I'm his daughter's art instructor.
We're Mr. Mister's Liberty Committee.
I hope you ain't made a bad break, Virgil. They're a kind of refined looking bunch, you know. Maybe I made a mistake, but you know, I had my orders.
That's why they're all in here then. The cops got their signals mixed. Shall I tell you a secret? We're in the same old trade as you.
You mean you're wrong, soliciting.
Not quite, but so to say. They won't buy our milk white bodies, so we kinda sell out in some other way. To Mr. Mister.
Who's this Mr.
Better ask me who he's not. He owns steel and everything else too. Because of him, my son was killed 6 months ago. Now he'll come and bail them out.
Say what he knows how to
I don't know, I'm drunk.
I wonder if I hadn't better phone Mrs. Mister. I know her so much better than I know Mr. Mister.
I'm afraid Mr. Mister has his hands full tonight.
It won't keep him from coming here, will it?
That union business is coming to a head tonight. He's going crazy trying to kill it.
Officer! Officer! Where's the man who made the speech?
Yes, where's the man who made the speech?
We're in here.
But where's he?
Where's the man who made the speech?
All right, take it easy. Don't get sore. We got him. The boys, well, they're giving him a little workout next door.
Anybody want to join him?
Oh, what a filthy night court, place for common tramps and bums. Don't they know nice people when they see them? We prosecute defendants, it's not our place to be there. So Mr. Mister, please have pity, come and save your pet committee from disaster. Where's the judge? Where's the judge? We want the judge!
Order in the courtroom! The judge will be here when he gets here. For the time being, I'll take down the names. First case. Name?
I am the Reverend Salvation. I wear the holy cloth. My name is known to all God-fearing people in Steel Town. The Liberty Committee has been formed by us to combat socialism, communism, radicalism, especially unionism.
All right. Charge.
What do I got these people for? Loitering? Obstructing traffic.
Oh, this is just preposterous. The officer has made a dreadful mistake. I insist that everything be placed within the record.
So they got old man Salvation, the night court at last. Do you know what the charge ought to be? Habitual prostitute since 1915.
Scene 3. The mission.
My dear Mrs. Mister.
Reverend Salvation, who are you? It's been weeks I wanted to meet you and to greet you. I'm extremely into, and I brought along our monthly present. But one thing's not so pleasant, Father dear.
it in the Bible. So must it be. Thou shalt not kill. Peace on earth towards men goodwill, nothing but goodwill. As your shepherd I implore, turn from thoughts of wicked war, glory to abhor. Women sing her husbands, sons, and sweethearts. Men be resolute, refuse to shoot. Or into the loathsome fray we'll be tossed. Everything we lost will be at any cost. Collection!
And then in 1916,
Forever in salvation and worry, things are not proceeding so nicely or precisely in the way they should. And my husband, Mr. said it's something about making credits over here. They hear for steel and oil and rubber. So we must set the town like, please don't be quite so downright simply answer with yes and no. Extreme freaks for so much peace, but now it seems that peace may be a little expensive. Please don't think me offensive, just restrain our intensive order. You might mention that you don't support the German side of the war.
Thou shalt not. Righteousness conquers iniquity, perishes, peace is a wonderful thing. But when I say peace, I'm referring to inner peace. Let there be no misconception. The peace you remember which passeth beyond understanding. We must remember our honor and the valor and pride which is ours to cherish and use. Knowing well that peace without honor no good American should excuse. Surely I need not remind you of the war which has simply been dreadful for everyone. There we take no sides till we know who defends sweet peace from the savage Hun. Collection!
but in 1917,
Reverend salvation! News! Front page news! Headline news! But strictly
Mr. Mister to Sister Mister to Junior Mister.
Scene 4, the barn of Mr. Mister's home.
Leave me alone!
You big bug! Why don't you try to reduce?
Don't bother me! I'm busy! Till it hurts, baby! My heart surges, baby! Prune it in spurts, baby! It's just the first Oh, Spooner's life is a blessed one. He makes the population happy. For when all one's cares are distressing one. Even the poor not immune. If they're without a suit, we couldn't give a hoot when they can substitute. Where they can substitute.
Do we disturb you too unduly? I have business with Editor Daily.
Should I wear stripes or checks? Oh, the problems of my attire. Excuse me, better go make another long distance call to Esquire.
And I've got a date with the Fig, get it?
Oh.
Date,
Oh.
Fig?
The children are rather witty. Yes. I have called you here fairly early, my dear, Editor Daily, because I have something on my mind. Oh, my gift of pearls will be at your disposal, Mr. Mister. You've been very kind. I believe this capers are great mental shapers. My steel industry is dependent on them, really. Just you call the news and we'll have all the news from coast to coast and from border to border. Yes, but some news can be made to order. Oh, the press, the freedom of the press. They'll never take away the freedom of the press. We must be free to say whatever's on our chest. With a hey diddle dee and a ho naughty no. For whichever side will pay the best. I should like a series of young living foremen who goes around storming and organizing unions. Yes, we've heard of him in fact. Good word of him he seems quite popular with working men. Find out who he talks with and drinks with and sleeps with the nick of his past till at last we got it on him. But the man's so full of fight, he's simply dynamite. Why it would take no army to tame him. Then it shouldn't be too hard to frame him. Oh, the freedom of the press. You've only got to hint whatever's fit to print. If something's wrong with it, then we'll just print the fit. With a hey diddle dee and a ho naughty no. Whichever side will pay the best. Have a picture bill Oh, the press, the freedom of the press. They'll never take away the freedom of the press. That format series now! Yes, Mr. Mystic, yes! With the angel D and a whole naughty no! No! Yes, yes, sir, yes! For whichever sign will pay the best. I agree with you absolutely, Mr. Mister. Oh, that is quite the relief, Editor Daily. You see, I was literary advisor for years to Princess Walla Hawaii of the Hawaiian Islands. We still correspond. Ah, then you were just the man to write the manifesto for my new Liberty Committee. If I do say so myself. A literary advisor to a princess. What do you know? Oh, spelling and things, you know. Yes. About Junior. I do like Junior. Well, he doesn't go so well with union trouble. I want him out of town. Say on the paper, a correspondence job or something. See? You're Junior, working. I see, I see.
Harriet Druggist.
Oh, the usual charge, I suppose?
Yeah, you know this one. Picked her up in the square earlier this evening.
Wait a minute, I belong with these people too. I sold out too. I sold out my boy. And 2 others with him.
Scene 5. The drugstore.
Stevie!
Yes, Mom?
Those glasses really clean this time. Like this. That's the way. It looks like summer weather. There's a fine warm sun. I swear I'd not change places with King Solomon. I ought to make you break for every glass that you drop. It certainly feels fine to own my shop.
Oh, Mom, you're always such crazy. The shop's not yours. What about the mortgage?
The mortgage guy, you know how much it worries me. So when I get to them to let me be, I'll pay him when I can. You know who owns the company? It's Mr. Tell me what does he want with my little cash? It's a terrible world, Stevie, and I feel fine.
Are you the guy who runs this joint?
I'm the proprietor.
Do you know a Pollock who comes here every Sunday? Sure, a bum with his wife he comes here.
You know, Mom, I think he's talking about that Polish fellow.
He brings his wife here every week about this time. She likes my ice cream sodas. Yes, I know them well.
You know what he looks like, huh?
Yes, why?
You'd like to keep this drugstore, wouldn't you? You wouldn't want any company to clamp down on your mortgage or anything like that now, would you?
Hey, what's the idea?
Here's the dope. When this Pollock comes in the day, you don't say nothing. He goes out, there's a big noise outside. You don't say nothing. Nothing. Understand? You keep your trap shut. Later on, when they ask you who done it, you remember, it's this here Pollock.
Done what?
Explosion. We'll take a little piece off of Union headquarters across the street.
Who is?
None of your damn business. Jeez, I'm sure what the boss had to pick you out of all the stores on this site. Talk about dumb.
Mr. Mister's behind this somewhere, Mom.
You don't know that name. You never heard that name before. Get me?
But man, I can't say somebody did something if they didn't. Suppose he denies it.
Listen, I'll go over this all again. There's gonna be an explosion. This guy's gonna be in the explosion. He ain't gonna bother you none after that.
And his wife, too?
Can I help him? His wife never lets him out of her sight.
Mom, I heard what he said. Mom, you're not gonna let him get away with it.
You
Mom,
keep
please.
a shirt on. You don't want to interfere with your old mother.
Stevie, they got me cornered. I'll lose the store. Stevie, they can do it. I'll lose everything. What should I do?
Mom.
Shut up. Here they come now.
What store you go to get it?
Up on High Street.
Expensive shop, I bet?
No, it ain't. And it's the cutest dress.
Sadie, come on. I got you a new dress already. What do you want, to take all my money?
I know, but Gus.
Is it a pretty dress?
Oh, if you could only see me in it.
Well, maybe they make me head guy in the middle. I get plenty of money. I don't know. Well, what do you think? Anything?
Vanilla ice cream soda with 2 scoops.
Need nothing. Just Coca-Cola maybe, with a shot of lemon. The manager, he come to me, he say, I keep away from union. But then Larry Foreman, this union fella, he come to me, he say, Gus, don't be fool, you belong with us. I guess I'm very popular. Everybody wanted me. I don't know. Sadie, are you gonna have a kid soon?
Gus?
Well, I want a kid. I want a son. Would I care what they hear? Now, I got first papers. Pretty soon, I'd be a real American citizen. Men say they need men like me. Sure, good hands, strong. I say, America need men like me. Sadie, I think you're getting bigger already. We gotta buy you a new dress soon,
Gus,
huh?
stop it!
Why don't my Sadie tell me she gonna have baby?
Now, Gus, I asked you twice today. Don't talk that way.
What I care, what they hear.
Okay, maybe.
I make a little bed from wood, so my son sleep. So my son sleep. We wonder if anyone could be as much in love as we. We wonder if anyone ever was before. They couldn't be any more than we are. There never was such a day or such a night time. There never was such a boy as we will have, and all in the night time. What's the matter, kid? There never was such a day or such a night time. There never was such a boy as we will have, and all in the right. No! Wait! Stevie! Wait! I'm gonna get you! Wait! No! Stevie! Stevie!
Intermission. 10 minutes.
Welcome back.
Yay!
Drive 2.
Hotel lobby.
Well, this is my old friend Dauber, the artist.
Well, this is my old friend Yasha, the violinist. He has to be here today.
All the people who walk into a hotel lobby are running to her.
So, how's the concert business?
Fine, how's the painting business? You know, I had 30 concerts last year.
Last year I saw 12 pictures last year. What about this year?
This year, I rely on my talent.
Prospects are lousy for me too. Don't let me keep you, please be on your way. You must have many things to do.
No, not at all. An appointment today brings me to these parts.
Me too.
Ah, but the person I'm about to meet, I doubt you could have met her. The kind that problems at my feet, she'd stay there if I let her. Why, she's fabulously wealthy, and although that's not the reason, I think she can be counted on to subsidize me all next season.
Your lady friend does resemble a lot. Someone, and that's very clear.
So?
Someone who's meeting me here.
No.
Is from your circle I know.
Yes.
Not Mrs. Mister.
Well, yes, Mrs. Mister.
Me too.
Oh,
he's in good life. It's back on his feet again.
She asked me to bring up when I go to tennis.
This summer? Oh, so she mentioned the summer to you. Did she say where she will be?
No, but we both know that Paris will do more cabaret. She calls it cabaret.
Well, she promised me more, however, with an extra house fry. Of course, if she has other plans, like other fish to fry.
Dear Lady Duchess desperately wants me in her place. She's had people do her three-quarters, now I can do full face.
Well, I just heard from Marquise at Contessa last week. She was Matilda McGee.
Well,
Now she's divorced the Marquis.
hell, my Lady Duchess loves me.
Swell!
She went well, so I feel a fact might relieve.
I agree. For there's something so damn low about the rich. It's incredible, the open way they court you. All these millionaires, I can't tell which is which.
What can they do?
What can they do? What can they do? Support you.
Painting and music, twin flowers from one stem. The spirit, and who says I haven't brought about a union of the arts? Yashu's horns are perfect. Imagine Yashu hasn't had the horns of my pierce arrow tuned to that motif in Beethoven's Egmont Overture. You know, ta 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 ta. I had a debate with Hallie Vacuum the other day as to whether or not Picasso has curly hair. Oh, you see, now, well, don't tell me. I couldn't bear it if he were bald. The weekend. The two of you must join me for the weekend.
Ask us again and again, Mrs. Mister. Ask us again. We love it, please, now and then. Do ask us again. Whenever it's convenient, we'll come. When it's not, we're always lenient, unless you found some other plum. For we love to sit in the lap of the lush and lavicious day. Although it's only from Friday night till Sunday. Your guests are disgusting, your food is too heavy. We eat and we drink and we melt and we fall and we're ill and we're
You two will kill me, I swear.
but we live on the fat of the land, and for service we don't lift a hand. We're allowed to be lewd and insulting and lewd. So long may you wave and forever amen, if you'll ask us again, again and again. Oh please, Mrs. Mister, just ask us again.
Did I ever tell you about Rupert Scannison, the poet? He has divine eyes and sensitive hands. And he told me that I was an old soul, a very old soul. He was, of course, alluding to my spirit.
Oh, yes.
Naturally. Well, he's coming to dinner with me tonight.
Dinner?
Hurry up,
Oh, we are starving. Let's go to dinner too.
Yes, do. Of course you can come to dinner with me, you poor dears. That's what we're good for, we money people. You just walk all over us if it's only for the good of the cause. And speaking of the cause, I want you two to join my husband's Liberty Committee. You will, won't you? What is that? Don't you want to know what it's all about?
Politics?
Cora, we're artists.
And we love art for God's sake. It's smart for God's sake. To pump for God's sake. With your heart for God's sake. And your mind for God's sake. Be blind for God's sake. And deaf for God's sake. And dumb for God's sake. Until for God's sake. You kill for God's sake. I'll be up for God's sake.
That is not like hearsay. Oh, now you two, Yasha, Downer. a nickel shining there. Gee, coffee and Andy. Then I looked closer. That wasn't no nickel. Not coffee and Andy. Just coffee, Andy. Cute, huh? Mister, you don't know what it felt like. Thinking that was a nickel under my foot. Maybe you wonder what it is, what makes people good or bad, why some guy in lace without a doubt turns out to be a bastard, and the other way around. I'll tell you what I feel, it's just the nickel under the heel. Live like hearts and fears, and every day is a wonderland. Dream and scheme and carefully take and put. But first be sure that nickels under your foot. Go stand on someone's neck as you're taken. Cut into somebody's throat as you want. For every dream and schemes, depending on whether of rust or you've kept it warm. The nickel under your foot. And if you're sweet, then you'll grow rotten. Your pretty heart covered over with soot. And if for once you're gay and devil and careless and oh so hot, I know you've got that nickel under your foot.
Which of you guys wanted to see the man who made the speech?
Hey, Larry Foreman, now I'll make a speech. That's the man who made the speech. He's the one who started this.
We'll see if Mr. Mister comes.
Did you phone Mr. Mister? What'd he say? What'd he say?
Mr. Mister's not at home.
Not at home.
I'm meeting with the board.
With the board?
Says the judge is with him too. He'll come over right away just as soon as they're approved.
What'd he say? What'd he say? He'll come over right away.
That's the man who made the speech.
He's the man who made the speech. He's the one who started this.
Oh boy! I just been grilled. Say, who came up with that word anyway? Grilled. I also been barbecued, frizzled, and pleated. Now I know what the foreigners feel like. I guess I am a foreigner at that. Our property's been in the family over 60 years, but it's 9 miles out of town, so that makes me a foreigner. Not that it's a good property. If it was, we wouldn't have it no 60 minutes. You ever hear of Mr. Mister? Now there's an A #1 home snatcher, and a lot of hard work and perseverance went into that reputation. Say, what's the whole of the Liberty Committee doing in a night court? Wait till I tell my Aunt Jessie. She's got a comeback for everything. Always said they were the biggest cheats and whores in town. Oh, excuse my language, miss. My Aunt Jessie gets all them big words out of the Bible. So you're new here. What's the matter, kid? They catch you out on the street?
Uh-huh. What do they got you for?
Who, me? Making a speech and passing out leaflets. The formal charge is inciting to riot. Ain't you ever seen my act? Well, I'm creeping along in the dark. My eyes is cracking, my pockets is bulging, I'm loaded, armed to the teeth with leaflets. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. And if I click on the drum, I come up to you very slow, very sneaky, and in one fell gesture, I I tuck a leaflet into your hand. And then, 1, 2, 3, there's a riot.
You're the right.
I incited you. I'm terrific, I am!
That don't sound like nothing to get arrested for. Besides, you don't look very worried.
Oh, sister, you don't want to talk that way. That's dangerous talk. Well, next thing you know, they'll have you deported, as well as fumigated. But it's a good leaflet. We printed it ourselves. We got a committee, too. Farmers and city people, doctors, lawyers, newspapermen, and a couple of poets, and one preacher. We're all middle class. We all got property. We also got our eyes open. You see this crowd here? Hiding up there in the cradle of the Liberty Committee? Up on the topmost bough of yonder tree now, like bees in their hives, the lords and their lackeys and wives, the singing rock-a-bye baby in a nice big cradle. Then they remark, the air is chilly up there, the sky is brown, can that be a cloud over there? And then they put out their hands and feel stormy weather. A birdie ups and cries, boys, this looks bad. You haven't used your eyes, you'll wish you had. That's thunder, that's lightning, and it's gonna surround you. No wonder those storm birds seem to circle around you. But you can't climb down and you can't sit still. That's a storm that's gonna last until the final wind blows. And when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. That's thunder, that's lightning, and it's gonna surround you. No wonder those storm birds seem to circle around you. Well, you can't climb down and you can't say no. You can't stop the weather now with all you know. 'Cause when the wind blows, and when the wind blows, the cradle will rock. The cradle will rock. You think we don't know what that fight tonight's about? Why Murphy from the Rolling Mills, Brown from the Ruffers, and Young from the Boilermakers all sitting up there in Union headquarters? Why more people than Steeltown ever saw are crammed out in the square? Those boys don't know it yet, but they're fighting our fight too. They're making onions grow all over the land where nothing but cactus grew before. And they'll have the blasters and the machinists with them before the week is out to try and stop it.
Did he say onions?
Yes, but he meant unions.
Did you see all the people out there? In the order, in the quiet. I lost my Aunt Jessie in a crowd of Boilermakers all crammed to one side of the square with their wives and kids. And the Boilermakers kids all had bugles. I'll find her blowing a bugle, I guess, unless they holler in for carrying concealed deadly leaflets, old two-gun Jessie herself. And the Ruffers on the other side of the square with their wives and kids, and their kids all had drums.
I saw them in the middle of the street where the rolling mill workers. Their kids were out front too with fifes.
You know what it takes to keep a kid from blowing on his bugle and banging his drum? They're all sitting out there just waiting. Waiting. Ready to strike up the band as soon as they hear the good news.
I asked one little boy why he wasn't playing his fife, and you know what he said to me? Miss, that's discipline.
Tonight's the night as they get together. Oh boy, oh boy. Goodbye open shop in Steeltown. Hello clothes shop.
What's the difference?
The difference? Open shop is when a Boilermaker can be kicked around, demoted, fired like that. He's free. He's free to be wiped out. A clothes shop, he's got 50,000 other Boilermakers behind him, ready to back him up, every one of them down to the last lunch pail. The difference? It's like the 5 fingers on your hand. See that? That's the Boilermakers. It's just one finger. A clothes shop. Rollers, rubbers, machinists, blasters, Boilermakers. That's close shop. That's a union. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Order in the courtroom! Order in the courtroom! Next case, name?
I am President Brexy of College University.
John!
Maintaining a disorderly house.
Scene A. Faculty room.
Hello. Mister. Why, good heavens, man, show him in. Mister.
President Prexy.
Lovely morning.
It's raining.
Is it raining? I had no idea, well, of things.
My wife's waiting for me. I'll come to the point at once.
I need a speaker. Someone who can talk.
Well, we have a number of lovely professors this year, ones who make great appearances. Just what sort of man are you?
Rally next Saturday night. I'm extending your military tactics course. 2 years compulsory training now. Didn't they tell you?
No, they didn't tell me.
Well, we're building up quite a nice little regiment here. You never know when you'll need them. There was that Alacrippa strike in 1933. The National Guard isn't any cheaper. And I can handle college boys myself. Oh, country's going to the dogs. What with the unions and sit-down strikes. Well, I need a professor from your university to come and talk to the students. Stir 'em up. Someone who can talk.
Let me see, just what sort of man would be most suited to your purpose? Send in Mamie, Scoot, and Trixie. Boys, this is Mr. our most distinguished citizen and trustee. He, Ta-dee, ta-doo, ta-da-da-da, ta-dee, ta-doo, ta-da-da-da. Professor Trixie, not now, Scoot, your turn will come. But first, Professor Mamie. Mamie's a new one, just up from the Argentine.
Applied Science, Laboratory 54, Military Training. Young gentlemen of the university, I give to you the triple flank maneuver. Salute! 1, 2, 3! That maneuver is a sort of symbol, if you will. A symbol of the times and the tides, the times and the tides, as it were. Cloistered life, sanctum of learning, home of the higher good, haven of the humanities, in short. Why, my dear Scoot, the university has a much broader base than many people give it credit for. Having much broader base. Now, in conclusion, without wishing to appear too drastic, mind you, may I give you the triple blank maneuver. 1, 2,
3! Too many long words. What do you think college boys are? They won't know he's talking about military training.
All right, Professor Scoot.
Ethics 42, Aesthetics 6, Logic 1.
Yes, but how do you feel about our course in military training?
Do I have to say
Why, yes.
that I don't like military training? Military training of any kind. I'm not Tolstoy, baby.
Oh, what?
A little brother.
Where were you during the war?
Henry Ford's nation.
How did he get on our payroll? But believe me, he's off it now. Professor Trixie.
Football coach.
just now! Be a man!
Wonderful! Wonderful! You both can consider yourselves on my Liberty Committee! Oh, yes. Well, I suppose we can use you as well, Mamie. Those long words can come in handy there, but not that piece of shit.
No.
Anyway, I want you to tell the boys we're getting in the best military equipment around. I'm talking riot guns. Oh yeah. Tear gas. I like it. Hand grenades. Plastic ticket. Cartridges. Oh, daddy. They're gonna find that 3 or even 4 years of such military training is not gonna hurt. Not gonna hurt. Not gonna hurt. It's not gonna hurt.
Scene 9. Doctor's Specialist Office.
Not gonna hurt. Is it, Doctor? It's not gonna hurt.
Just relax, old man. Purely a routine examination. Just breathe naturally.
Well, it hurts sometimes when I breathe, Doc, you know?
Oh, where? Here?
No! Not now, Doc, but it does hurt.
Just breathe naturally.
All right.
Ah, just a little case of the nerves. There are some new injections, rather rare in this country. We'll start on them immediately tomorrow. Also, I want to thank you for being the chairman of the Liberty Committee.
Are you sure everything's normal, Doc?
Fair enough. Thank you so much. It's just what I needed to get the sweet research appointment that I've been after for months. And it means a great deal to me, as you may know.
I see.
Perfectly normal.
Normal.
Completely. Just, pulse is a bit jumpy, that's all.
Ella Hammer to see you, Doctor!
Ella Hammer. That's the sister of the machinist who got hurt, isn't it? What's she doing here?
No idea. I treated him last Thursday.
I think I know what she wants. The man was drunk at the time, wasn't he?
Drunk? Why, no.
No? Well, that's very interesting. I was sure that I had heard that he had slept because he had been drinking.
Well, is that causing you any trouble?
Oh, well, in a sort of way. He's been trying to put over his new union stuff over to the employees. The kind that's never satisfied. His sister's beefing all over the place. How he got pushed into that ladle. You know, I'm wondering how easily, I had a hard time deciding whether a doctor was the right type to head a Liberty Committee. I decided, well, for a number of reasons. I assumed, naturally, after you examined him, didn't you say that he was drunk? I? Yes, you! In fact, I just sent someone over from the newspapers just this morning to get the story from you. You know, I'm wondering how easily you could explain your sudden resignation as chairman of the Liberty Committee to your extensive practice. That is, if a change was found advisable. God, I'm a sick man, Doctor. Doesn't anyone realize how sick I am? I have nightmares that I'm in the middle of an earthquake. And sure, call it nerves, call it what you like, but I don't understand the times. Unions, we raised their wages, and now they want a union. Things are slipping from my grasp. Was it all coming to my own doctor? Also made me sad. There. You see? Yeah. I guess you can handle her. Hey?
Hello, doctor. Doctor, you examined Joe. Doctor, you're the one to know. If he ever touched a drop of liquor, he couldn't hold it. You know his stomach. They take him out of the picture for you to know his stomach by now.
Yes.
Is the rumor true that they mean to say that he was drunk?
Yes.
But doctor, you know those hoodlums framed him, pushed him into that lane because he wasn't afraid to touch. He's been expecting this for weeks. He even told you that.
Yes.
Workers have been cheated and lied to and sold out. They daren't trust anybody no more. They mustn't lose their faith in Joe now. You see that, don't you?
Yes.
So you will tell them all that it was just a frame-up. You'll say their confidence in him was not unfounded. I hoped you would. Reporters from the newspaper, sir!
Yes.
Good morning, doctor.
Mr. Bonus, come here. We aren't quite sure.
Gentlemen, I'll be brief. My statement is this. I examined the man Hammer following an incident at the Steeltown Mill last Thursday. He was obviously intoxicated. That is all.
But doctor, isn't there any more?
Yeah, that hardly makes a complete story.
A story? Is that what your papers want? A story? Listen, here's a story. Not much fun and not much glory, low class. About the thing you never care to see until there is a showdown. Here it is. I'll make it snappy. Are you ready? Everybody happy? Joe, worker gets screwed. For no good reason, screwed. From the start until the finish comes, they beat him out of garbage cans, they put him in the slums. Joe, worker will go to shops where stuff is on show. He'll look at the meat, he'll look at the bread, and too little to eat sort of goes to the head. One big question inside me cries. How many figures, peace undertakers, trade strike breakers, how many toiling, ailing, dying, pile of bodies, probably does it take to make you wise? Joe, worker just drunks, for no good reason, just drunks. Weary, tired to the core, and then he talks out of sight, there's always plenty more. Joe, worker must know that somebody's got him in tow. But what is the good? For just one to be clear. Oh, it takes a lot of Joes to make a sound you can hear. One big question inside me cries. How many frame-ups? How many lockdowns? Shake-ups? Sellouts? How many times machine guns tell the same old story? Brother, does it take to make you wise?
Scene 10. The night court.
So the great doctor specialist drew a research appointment and kept his job on the Liberty Committee.
Gee, and I thought they were all so high class.
Sister, you ought to be ashamed, an amateur like you amongst all these professionals. But they can teach you something, you know. For instance, you'll probably go to jail. You think they will? Not on your committee button, they won't.
Will Mr. Mister never get here?
It seems
Seems like we've been here for hours. I insist that man be stopped. What is this, Russia? We don't have to listen to talk like that.
No, you don't have to listen. You're all independent, you are. There's no Mister, there's just the boogeyman. Will you preach when he tells you to preach? Will you print when he tells you to print? Or else you sell out everything you got. You store, you son, yourself. Mr. walks in and you kiss the ground where he walks. Mr. struts in and you lift your little behind and you smack. This ain't Russia, no, this is Steeltown, USA.
Well, what would you have us do? Join the union?
A university president's union?
An artist union?
Don't make us laugh!
I got some sort of invitation to join a pharmacist union. I wonder if they know there's a pool room now where my drugstore was.
Didn't anybody ever tell you boys you belong to a union already? It's the closest shop I've ever heard of, and it's been running things for quite a while. Only you're being rooked. You're in one of those racketeer unions where you run all the errands and hope to get a $1 cigar for Christmas. You haven't made one real demand yet. You've only said yes, Mister, up till now. Well, you're caught there, boys. You're stuck like a sandwich between the top crowd pressing down and the bottom crowd pressing up. What do you want to be? Hamburgers, I ask you.
You're Larry Foreman.
Ex-foreman?
I've been looking all over town for you.
Well, how's the union return?
They haven't come to a decision yet. Mr. Foreman, I know a lot about you. You were once in my employ. Now look here, we're both for the same thing. Fair's fair deal for everybody. Why don't you convince your people to join up with the Liberty Committee into one big united organization? Huh?
You mean with these people here?
Yes, that is statement being here. I will never release that once. I have authority. That goes for you as well, Mr. Foreman, of course.
You got his authority, huh?
Well, yes, my brother-in-law, you know?
Of course, the judge is your brother-in-law. He's part of the Liberty Committee too, right?
Yes, and some of the best people in town. There's Dr. Specialist, of course, and up there's Editor Daly. You know him, and they're all very democratic. Come now, what do you say, huh?
Now let me get this straight. You want my services in swinging your way all the people I've signed up. All the people who agree with the union. You want me to change their minds. Is that it?
That's it! That's it! Now do it!
No! Don't!
Well, that's a little strongly put.
Oh, Mister, you can be perfectly
Go
frank.
ahead! Go ahead!
When all this trouble's over, I'll see to it that there's a wave of increased production. Improved methods, closer competition than the country's ever seen before. Don't they know that I'm giving them a swimming pool, a library, a private park for
Listen,
their
you.
children?
That's Mr. Mister!
I want a union.
Mister!
Oh, I don't want
And that's an offer he's making
There's
you!
nothing you couldn't be.
Take it!
I have
Like it!
Well,
I might. That's a tall order, you know.
well, of course
He's
you don't
making you an offer! Making you an offer! Do you understand?
Quite a sum to you, huh?
I thought so. You needn't worry about that part.
Go on, you son of a bitch! You lousy foreman! Who do you think you are? Go on! Go on! Mister! Making you an offer! Take it! Making you an offer! Mister!
You don't say. With that much to you, huh? Why don't you take all that money and go buy yourself a big piece of toast? You want to relax, and to me and Maya Jesse, you're a poached egg. Go on, get out of here, and take this little girl with you. Out there, she don't cost. Come on, in jail, you're liable to have to feed her.
Why, you goddamn skunk! I will break you! I will run you out of town!
And give us front page publicity, would you please?
Kill
trees. Outside in the square, they're starting something that's gonna rip the catgut right out of your stinking rackets. That's steel out in front tonight. But one day, there's gonna be wheat and sidewalks, cows and music, shops and houses, poems, bridges, drugstores. The people in this town are finding out what it's all about. They're growing up. And when everybody gets together like Steel's getting together tonight, where will you be then? Listen, you Black Legion, you Ku Kluxes, you Vigilante, up there in the cradle of the Liberty Committee. When the storm breaks, the cradle will fall. Listen, that's the Boilermakers. The Boilermakers are with us. That's the Boilermakers kids.
To the topmost